Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Internet, it is Wednesday night, and we're actually doing an AfterBuzz for NXT shortly in the time when it aired. I am the Internet Soapbox Mark. I said on Twitter we were getting the band back together, and there was a bit of a problem. But we'll talk about that first. I'm joined always on the other side of the flippin' world by the internet. Hi!
I see you sort of there.
Your audio is better than mine.
Oh, is it? That's fantastic. You sound like you're in a freaking cave.
I am in a cave.
You're in a cave of your own mind.
Well, essentially, I've got the Kevin Owens music going, and I've got the Kevin Owens shirt. I made a tasteful purchase at one of the weekend's
made
live
for big and tall people.
No, it fits great. It's wonderful. So I'm gonna fade this out. This is weird. This is weird that I have to do.
This will be the weirdest formatted show you have seen all day on the AfterBuzz Network. We are the last show of the night. We are slipping in just under the wire. They are going to turn the lights off before we are even finished tonight. And we're going to have to find a way out because they will release the dogs. I promise you that.
The dogs are nice, though. Tell the people they can find you on the internet, damn it.
Don't tell them that. That ruins the illusion. I am a true hobo.
And I'm usually at Soapbox Mark, but tonight I'm giving a little shout out to the podcast that I have with my friend Brandon and I, The Gimmick Pod, as you can see, wonderfully displayed below. Oh, and there they go.
See, I saw Brandon tonight. He was at a meeting for the red carpet event stuff.
You gotta let that go.
I told him, don't screw it up. That's what I said to him.
All right. So interesting show tonight. Kathy Kelly, unfortunately, we just never had, like, unfortunately there was a communication error, because we can't talk either. And as a result, schedules got conflicted. We wanted to get a show out. Kathy wanted to get a show out. She wanted to join us. She is the busiest woman at this office and at this studio, and we thank her, and I just want to tell you, like, dropping the fourth wall. Hobo used a great word on Raw, kayfabe.
Yep.
She loves doing this show. Like, this is one of the few shows, because now I see her doing the show where she really gets to just turn off and enjoy herself and talk about something that she enjoys. So we're gonna try to do as good of a show without Kathy as we can, but once all this WrestleMania business is over, as exciting as it is, we're gonna be back to our regular format and none of this weird split screen, like, Hobo's over there sort of business.
It'll be business as usual.
Yeah, we're gonna be next to each other, like, in actual space.
Yeah, change can be fun, though. I mean, this will be different.
They'll definitely be different. Kathy is not leaving the show. I am on chat right now. That's one of the benefits of being in Studio C and being on a computer is I'm going to be in chat, so I see everybody. Hi, Angie Harris. Hi, Joseph Boza. Lake 85 has a question. Is Kathy leaving the show? No. Just classic Daniel Bryan, no. You know, it's mid-season finales, it's regular season finales, there's a whole lot of stuff.
Red carpets aplenty.
Super, and Kathy's super busy, and that's no fault of hers. That's more fault of ours for having less to do, I guess. Is that?
No, don't blame us.
Okay, I won't blame us.
Nobody is to blame. Man makes plans that God puts us under. So,
once WrestleMania is done, we're going to be kind of back to our regular schedule. This was because we're leaving
tomorrow.
We're leaving tomorrow. So we wanted to get the show out anyway. let's talk about the show. Very basic show, eh, Hobo?
The most basic of shows, primarily consisting of packages and promos. Granted, furthering some agendas, but really, total matches tonight, two. Two matches.
Two very impressive matches.
Very impressive.
We gotta. I'm gonna be in and out of chat, and I want to do it because there's a hand gesture involved. HW View, on Twitter. I have to do it for Cameron, then I have to do it for Hobo. Gave us a Hobo for life, like NWO. So Hobo for life. There. Boom.
Nice.
And hello, everybody in chat. Now everybody is finally caught up because our timing is all fun and messed up. So the first match of the night, the first thing we get is a recap of NXT Columbus, which only... It makes me even that much more excited for NXT San Jose. What about you, Hobo?
Oh my, I am quite hungry to see this. We've been covering this program, me personally, for a year and a half now.
Yeah.
I've never had the privilege of seeing it live, and I am absolutely chomping at the bit at the opportunity of seeing the people that we talk about each week actually doing that thing that they do that we talk about each week.
That they do.
They do.
And then we're going to get to do what we do about them doing what they do while they do it. And it's beyond exciting.
Crazy.
I hope that some of it is televised. At the same time, I hope none of it is televised so that we get,
Well, if Columbus is an example, they will probably put together a package of everything that happens in San Jose.
And there might be a show. There might be 1 hour show, and then...
Possibly.
Yeah, and then we get to see kind of the rest because... There are so many different main events for the different Ohio shows. But to be the third out-of-state show, Bailey's coming home party.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Sasha's coming home party.
Sasha's coming home party. Well, she's been touring around with the WWE live events, and got to see her on Sunday on WWE Ontario, as well as Finn Balor and Tyler Breeze. I'm sorry, I saw his face and I just totally blanked out.
Just blanked out. Have
Always
a moment
happens.
to yourself right about there.
So, needless to say, we're excited. We're trying to get as much as we can covered for the show. Talking to our contacts, talking to just the superstars. We'll get into more of that a little bit more at the end of the show. We're a rambling show. It is a late night show. It's kind of like Legends House.
You just like I'm not drinking.
Yeah, actually, we're all pretty lucky that you're. Shout out to Bella, who was watching. Young wee Bella.
Oh,
remember?
Bella.
Little Bella.
Yeah.
Bella, just one of those. Goodness gracious. So this first match, Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. Last week we kind of talked about how they're really playing up that a count-out victory just because it's over the champion gives you the right for a championship match. What do you think?
100% correct. Absolutely. That is what championship matches are made of. If you're able to beat the champion, you are automatically the number one contender. If there happens to be another number one contender, maybe then you actually have a match between the two number one contenders to find the true number one contender, or you set it up into a three-way, but we don't have that situation here. So it's a straight one-on-one rematch.
But you say beat the champion. She won.
Attained a victory over.
That's not beat.
Hey.
I don't think that those are the same thing.
A W's a W in any language, man.
Except for languages that don't have W's. But I mean that
metaphorically.
Of course you did. You're the wise sage hobo.
I am.
A lot of roll-ups from Alexa Bliss on the top of the match. Drop toe hold, roll-up. Tilt-a-whirl roll-up that was just... could barely get our minds around it.
It looked like Sasha was trying to tilt-a-whirl her, and then Alexa turned it around into a pin.
Sasha whips her into the ropes, goes for an arm drag, gets reversed into another roll-up, drop kick. Sasha reverses that. Once Bliss was going for that roll up in the corner and jumps up to do the over to roll her up, and Sasha just kicked her square in the face. It's really gross.
She had a nice smile.
Key word.
Past tense.
She's gonna share your jawline. Don't.
As long as she doesn't share the facial hair, I think she'll still get by in the world.
She should be fine.
Be okay.
Blonde beards are weird.
Yeah.
A lot of roll. Sasha ends up doing something that's been getting you every single time she does it. She hits the snapmare and does the running like most people set up for a drop kick and just open slap to the face. And that it got you again.
It catches you by surprise. It always does, because it's just one of those things. It's the pull of the rug right out from under you. Your expectation is for one thing. She pulls a 180, does something completely different and even more personal.
And speaking of personal, you brought up something, because Sasha went and hit her patented knees from knee drop
in the corner.
Yeah, in the corner. And just go ahead. Something that we talked about while we were watching. Go ahead and take the reins on this, if you will.
Like I was saying to you that I believe Alexa should have been able to counter this maneuver, having had it done to her now, I believe, more than once.
You definitely more than once.
So she should have been able to find a way out of this. I think it would have made her look stronger if she was able to counter it in some fashion. Any fashion. Truly.
No, I can agree with that. When you brought that up, I went, yeah, how is she just taking that move? But then it's like, well, she just has to beat her even harder to like make her subject to it, I suppose.
It's a champion imposing her will on the contender.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is very true of this match.
And yeah, including this next it's been getting more intense. She's been doing kind of a straight jacket, some submission, arm to choke,
almost
position.
like a surfboard.
Yeah,
but
well, she finally turned it kind of into a surfboard. A little bit more and a little bit more. She seems to be adding just a little bit more pepper in it. Sometimes she just goes for the straight jacket, and then tonight it seemed just to be kicked up even more.
Yeah. It just bent Alexa into a very unnatural position, putting a lot of force on the shoulders, especially with those joints.
Yeah.
Under that way, it causes a lot of force. You can actually slip out a shoulder that way.
And that seemed like that's what Sasha was trying to do.
She always tries to go for a mean submission. She doesn't hold back on any of the submissions that she does. She's out for blood.
Yeah, she just gets more and more intense, and it keeps paying off for her. Sasha interrupts. Speaking of things that keeps going for more and more intense submissions, Alexa goes for a roll-up and gets cut. Sasha tries to reverse it, but ends up getting Alexa ends up getting the better of her and rolls her up in a different fashion.
Small package.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Banks had the arm. She had that arm full in her grasp, and she stood right up intending to perhaps snap it off, and then all of a sudden, another freaking roll-up. This girl wants the belt. Alexa really wants to win. It means a lot to her. I think that's what all these pins are saying.
And just as quickly as Sasha won it from Charlotte in the Fatal 4-Way with the crossface, just as quickly can Alexa win, I think, with the roll-ups in her own way.
It's about catching your opponent off guard.
Definitely.
The right thing in the right place at the right time.
Like this head scissor takedown in the corner?
That worked.
It worked. It was a little short, like, no offense to the stature of the ladies, but it seemed very just like, oh, wow, okay.
Alexa Bliss is about the size of a Sprite, so I'm really not surprised.
So she's about this tall?
About that
it's
tall.
A visual gag.
About that. That's a joke, kids. That's a joke there, son.
Sponsor. And really quick, I want to acknowledge the chat. They're talking a lot about something that I'll bring up at the end of the show. Something that we talk about all the time, my buddy Brandon and I, on The Gimmick.
Okay.
About a certain show that we should be watching.
I know that show.
Oh, yeah, no, Hobo's a regular listener to The Gimmick.
I listen to it a lot. It's a good thing you guys got going.
Thank you. She tosses, Alexa tosses Sasha to the outside, starts getting the count out, and then goes, duh, and then goes back down, outside of the ring, throws her back in. hits a standing...
The referee saying, hey, you wait here while I count your chance to win a title right out the window.
Yeah.
I never follow that instruction. You stay here. Screw you.
Where'd you go?
I'm gonna go get him.
Just like turn around, turn back. Hey, where is everybody? Nah, never works.
Silly zebras.
That got me. Just a straight up standing Lou Thez press. No whatsoever, like, momentum. Just, I'm going to jump on you and throw him a weight on you.
That's how you use it.
Yes, you got it somehow.
That's wrestling. You got weight, you put it into somebody, you take him down. Wrestling.
Alexa looks like she got all of her weight into that slap. That just totally shut everybody up.
That's called a receipt.
Yeah.
Somebody gives you something, you gotta give it right back.
Hits her with a whole bunch of strikes. The blitz flip. Hits a roll-up bomb in the corner. And she goes up for that. Did that have a name? Her dive off the top?
I don't know. Ask chat.
I don't remember. Does anybody on chat recall what Alexa Bliss's like 90-degree moonsault was? Not 90 degrees. Yeah, 180. Anyway, Sasha just throws her off, ends up slapping in the crossface for the win. Sasha Banks is still, thank God, your NXT Women's Champion.
I'll say the Blix flip looked far better tonight than it had done in recent matches.
Definitely a knee drop.
It looked like it really found its mark. There was no question, it was knees to the sternum and the ribs.
It found me! Quick question from the chat. Hobo, you get many potatoes?
If they're lucky, no. Maybe I give them back.
There you go.
I got big hands.
Yeah, no, so for those of you in the know, good thing that you know what a potato is. For those of you who don't know what a potato is, you got the internet in front of you. Look it up. So what then continued in the show was just a series of backstage segments and packages. We got Owens talking about how Balor made him rose to prominence by painting himself, calling himself a monster, where he hurt Zayn and took the belt in 2 minutes. And Sparkle Splash, that's what it is. Thank you, Joseph Boza. You are a helper as per usual.
Thank you.
And he tempts Balor to bring the demon.
He wants the demon.
Yeah. Oh, Glitz Flip?
No, I think it was Sparkle Splash.
It was Sparkle Splash. The Blitz Flip, or the Glitz Flip, was the knee drop. We're getting all over ourselves. We'll be back. We'll be back to you, chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Boza. Yeah, Kevin Owens just totally no nonsense, threatening to beat. He wants to beat Finn Balor at his worst.
Sounds kind of familiar to me.
How so?
Something I said a long time ago. Kevin Owens is the NXT's Brock Lesnar.
Why would you say that? Brock Lesnar is a hero to all of us. He's defeating the Scourge, that is Roman Reigns.
He's not worthy.
I got you with that one. All right. And then we see a brief package about Kevin Owens. We come back and see Bayley and Emma in the back. And this was kind of a follow-up to the backstage segment we saw a couple of weeks ago.
It was a conversation that they started, and they definitely continued it tonight, about whether or not Bayley should be listening to the NXT crowd and how much appreciation she's giving them versus how much they've maybe earned in the opinion of Miss Emma.
And Emma just wants them to be, she wants Bayley to be more aggressive because, again, she's got this chip on her shoulder about having to come back to NXT because she got there because of the NXT universe, and now she has to deal with all of that.
I think Bayley has been aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Yeah.
I think she's been doing that, but I don't think it's for the right reason. Emma's whole point of view is coming from a particular mindset of failure from her part. She feels that she didn't quite make it. She didn't quite really grasp the brass ring, as is the popular phrase these days. And so she's trying to help Bailey.
Maybe she thinks that Bailey isn't ready. I mean, that's what it is. This is going to be a sour, vinegary show, I'll tell you what.
Well, oh boy. when Emma laid a slap on Bailey that just was up to her elbow in Bailey's face, it's
slap the taste out of her mouth.
It's on. I think it's going to be up to Bailey what happens next. It truly is. Emma has put it out there. She does not find my apologies. Emma does not find Bailey threatening. She's going to hurt her in a completely open setting. She does not respect her. She does not think she can reciprocate. So it's up to Bailey to show Emma that you can be both a person who is appreciative of her fans and somebody who can kick ass.
We're going to see how it plays out either next week or at San Jose, or we're going to see this. This is definitely not the end of this. If anything, this is only the beginning.
This is only the beginning.
We then see a backstage interview with Tyler Breeze and Devin. Devin asks Tyler,
Barbara Walters,
what's next for you? Well, now that I've beaten Hideous Itami, or he made it. He made it work. I didn't. I failed.
That was not terrible.
It's pretty terrible.
Hideous.
He's Greek now.
Yes.
But he says now that he's bitten Hideo, he's going to go back on the hunt for the NXT Championship. But I suspected it because it was kind of a wide shot. Itami,
you did call it. Oh, white shot.
White shot. Someone's coming in. Itami comes in and challenges Tyler to a 2 out of 3 falls match seemingly next week on NXT, and just says me and you and me, and then leaves. And Tyler's like, I didn't even say yes, Devin, and then walks away. He's still being ridiculously funny and prissy and fantastic,
foppish,
but a jerk.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I love him. Can't wait to meet him.
I look forward to this matchup. I sincerely do.
Well, when was the last time we saw a 2 out of 3 falls match? Was that Cesaro Zayn at the first special?
Or was it Cesaro Regal?
That wasn't 2 out of 3 falls, was it?
Yeah.
Well, I said one that we've seen.
Oh, it was probably Cesaro Zayn.
Yeah, because Cesaro Regal was in preparation for that match.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
We see another package for Dana Brooke, a seemingly more expanded package than what we saw this past week, but she's still coming soon.
Very much your old school 80s weightlifting, look at me type package.
But we rarely see that from a female wrestler. We've seen it a couple times, like with your Nicole Bass and your Chyna, but Dana Brooke is being
Dana Brooke is attractive.
Is the full package,
and she doesn't have Yep.
Missy Kathy. So we then when we come back from that, we get a backstage interview from Finn Balor. Kevin Owens loved the sounds of his own voice. I don't need the bass to beat him. That's pretty bad.
So that wasn't terrible. Okay? I mean, it was an okay Irish.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
But he's like he doesn't need the beast. I'm gonna beat him.
For once, he seems to be not playing into Owens' hands. Although
one of the only people not to do so.
Although maybe that was Owens' plan all along. A little reverse psychology. I want to fight a demon. Well, you're not gonna get you. So there.
Cool. I get a regular guy.
Yeah, I can get a guy I can beat. Ha! I win.
And now at a different part backstage, we've got the Long Island trio, just kind of talking. Yeah, whatever. Bam.
Talking about old days, actually. Yeah. If you could listen to what they were saying, I
couldn't barely. It was a very busy studio tonight.
Talking how they used to run their block.
Yeah.
Yep.
How they did it back in the days, back in the I was gonna say the old country.
Sure.
Team Bam, Dubstep Cowboys enter. They apologize for their actions at NXT. I was gonna say NXT Ontario. NXT Columbus. What? Yep. It's a late night. And
Columbus, Ontario, Canada.
Columbus, Ontario, Canada, Mexico. And they bring, using their champions bonus, a brand new shiny bracelet for Carmella. And the guys are in a little, aren't impressed, to say the least. Look at that, he's got that Fugazi over there. Should have gone to Jared. It's just,
They're so goofy.
no, and it's fantastic.
Gotta love it.
And this could probably go for as long as they needed to.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't see this stopping until they win the tag team championships.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that a foretelling of your position on the matter?
I think we could see a title change at San Jose. It's such a big deal.
You really think so?
I'm just saying, I'm not saying we're going to, and I'm not saying it's going to be the tag team champions. I'm just saying that there's a possibility, with it being WrestleMania weekend and it being such a big event, that we might see a title change.
Well, I don't disagree, but I think that's undercutting the drawing power of Blake and Murphy.
Oh, I don't, and I'm trying not to, because they're building them up as characters right now.
Right. They're giving them the time to be more full extensions of just wrestlers.
Yeah. And that's great, because they're just these two guys, and now they're these two creepy guys.
Is that creepy?
Buying somebody that you're trying to woo who is not interested in you jewelry?
No, I think that's cool, but here's what's creepy. Both of them bought the bracelet. That's creepy.
They both agreed that, hey, we're going to use this for one gift for one person.
For one woman.
I think
they're kind of close, those guys.
That's it. That's the rub. You just figured it out. You nailed it. It's going to be the title match. Carmella's going to turn, and on the two of them, let me finish. Then they're going to have a double dragon moment where they both realize there's two of us and one girl, and they fight each other, beat each other up, knock each other down, and that's when the other guys come in for the pin, and Carmella never turned, and it was just a ruse the whole time.
That could work.
That could work fantastically.
Yeah.
And then the guys just kind of hate each other.
It would make Carmella likable. Fans aren't really into her.
Yeah,
but
well,
if they helped really them win, I think it'd make her turn way face.
It would help a bit more. She is booked a little bit more heelish, and despite being with a face group, I think that's just because of the lack of heels. Now with Emma back down here, who knows for how long? Excuse me. It's who knows how much longer that they'll need her to be a face.
Yeah.
And Dana Brooke, I think, can pull the I'm so great, right? I mean, I'm perfect and everything's fantastic about me, and
she's the female Lex Express.
Yeah, do that. Pull that. I'd be down for that.
I think we could.
So, this surprisingly, actually really quickly, I wanted to acknowledge the chat really quick. They're discussing whether or not there's going to be a live SmackDown tomorrow. SmackDown after show. There is. It's going to be Kaori and Rome doing a SmackDown after show tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we didn't really talk about it on Monday Night Raw.
Well, we tried not to. It was about the hardest thing we could do.
Especially because there was a couple of interesting things that happened.
Right.
But they announced most of the stuff. We kept it kind of teasy, but yeah, they are going to be. There's going to be a show tomorrow. So yeah. Let's get on to our main event: Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens.
Quite a match.
No Beast.
No Beast.
Balor showed up in regular form.
Dude.
Yeah. And even saying that about Finn Balor is really a disservice.
Yeah,
I feel kind of bad about it.
It's really underselling.
Oh, and speaking of Finn Balor, really quickly, the wrestling compadres, they're now Johnny and Dale. Now that they're on AfterBuzz, at Raw, they got an interview with Finn Balor, and that show just went up yesterday.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, and it was a good interview. So go check that out.
Yeah, we'll go check it out.
Yeah, not right now. We're still talking.
Now.
I see you moving. Good.
Suspense in Germany.
Whoa! Hey!
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 That's right.
Hey. What this match? Before we get into the nitty gritty, what do you think? What did you think? What's this match? How do you feel?
The crowd was into it 110%. They couldn't have been any more invested if they had money on the line.
That's fine. I get it. It's an investment, John. I get
Run it around. I'm smart.
You're not the smart. Damn it, I screwed it up. S-Mart. Shop smart, shop S-Mart. So Owens, traditional form, bails out of the ring until he can get control. There's a tie up in the corner, a clean break. Owens gets the cheap shot with the kick, starts with the headlock, some running shoulders into Finn, asking, "Where's the demon?" Finn gets a drop kick on him, and we come back from commercial. Owens is in an armbar, but he just nails Finn and just clubbing him to get his way out. They run. He goes for a roll up, but then Finn rolls through the roll up and hits him with a drop kick and puts him back in the armbar.
Yep.
Just great.
See that sunset flip, when you're a bigger guy like that, you gotta be careful you don't lose the smaller guy, because you actually give him momentum to pop him back up onto his feet so he can actually drop kick you. You have to be really careful.
That's what it looked like.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh, God. Balor got hung up on the ropes. He was what were they trying to do? They were trying to do something a little too fancy.
I'm trying to remember myself.
We just watched it, and I was just like, corner charge. Balor hung up. Crap.
Oh yeah, he shot him over and out, and Balor was trying to run him into the post, but Owens regained control, snapped his neck on the ropes.
Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
See, I do this stuff for a living.
Dear chat, I am not drunk. I am very sick. Or I hope I'm not very sick. I'm trying to heal.
You better figure this out.
I'd be so mad if I got sick. I'm trying to fight it off.
You do everything you can.
Soup. I have had a lot of soup.
Why don't you snort some of that powder vitamin C stuff? What's that called? Emergency? Snort it.
You talk to me as if I haven't tried that.
Oh. You're ahead of me then.
Somebody gave me pills. I'm trying them. I'm feeling really energetic. I'm so excited. That's a reference.
They got an adrenaline in
them. We see the first of many rear chin locks from Kevin Owens.
Super effective, especially when you've got basic hams for arms and hands.
Well, then also he was stepping over him with those huge flipping legs of his. Another rear chin lock, nothing. And then he was just grinding his foot into him like he was putting out a cigarette. Ugh.
It's brutal. He does not fight like, it's fancy. He does not do anything that's particularly attractive.
Because it's effective.
Pretty much.
That's what he does. He throws Finn out of the ring. Follows him as I look at chat and see Drunk Box Mark. He goes for an apron power bomb, but gets reversed into a back body drop. To get back in the ring, and one of the coolest things in this match, the tilt-a-whirl, what we're calling it, the tilt-a-whirl crucifix driver.
Pretty much. It's roughly what it was. He
had him up for like a swinging side slam.
Yeah, what I would call a gunslinger.
Yeah, gunslinger.
Yeah.
Ended up swinging him around into a crucifix position and favored the head when he went down to hit impact.
Worked really well.
It worked fantastically.
Every time you think Balor's coming back with some offense, he just can't seem to grab a hold of anything.
He can't get the power in.
He just can't.
You can't add power a guy like Kevin Owens.
He's got, what was the weight difference between those two? About 100 pounds?
No, I don't think 100. Maybe a little bit less than that,
80?
70 or 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a significant number, I'll tell you.
Yeah, So how have you fought Othello yet?
Yeah. Actually, I fought him in his debut.
Oh, that's right. So you know how that feels.
Yeah. Well,
that was a little bit more.
Othello was just so damn long. It's like fighting Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah,
Except
that's a way.
more muscular.
If you want to know who we're talking about, go to Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and look up Othello, spelled exactly how you would think.
That's HollywoodWrestling.com.
HollywoodWrestling.com. Patreon.com/United Wrestling Network.
United Wrestling.
United Wrestling. It's a network. All right. Welcome to HomestarRunner.net. It's .com.
Nice.
That's one. We were talking, but while we were talking, watching the show, we got senton from Kevin Owens back in the rear chin lock, clubs him a bunch, back to the rear chin lock, whips him heavily, just grossly into the corner. So much so that all of the turnbuckles, not just the one, snap back at how intense the whip was.
It's metal on metal. Truly, there's a pad there, but it's
it's a
not,
formality.
Seriously, it
It's
ain't
just
much
a
of
formality.
Pad, all right?
It's
Yep.
paper cut. Just to make everybody.
Yeah, that's what you had to worry about. You've got a paper cut, and Balor's in there fighting for his life.
I don't know. Paper cut. I'm just. It. When I say gross, it reminds me to that of seeing a fresh paper cut. You know.
This was a damn car accident. This was no paper cut.
I'm trying to make it relatable to our viewers who are talking about Wrestlemania in the chat.
I've never seen a car accident before.
I would hope not.
You ever seen a train wreck? You
I
can't
would
pull
hope
your
not.
eyes away.
You're outside all the time traveling, seeing all of this. I was gonna say amazing, and in some ways it is. It is amazing, but not in a positive way.
Well,
what the hell are we talking about? This match.
I don't think anyone else is paying attention. So.
No, they're talking about WrestleMania
what
right now.
What about WrestleMania?
I don't. We've talked about it. I'll say that much.
Okay.
Yeah. Overhead belly to belly, back into the rear chin lock. We get a commercial break, promo for the 2 out of 3 falls that we just found out about earlier in the night.
Yep.
And here's where we start to see Finn Balor come back.
He starts to get a little bit of momentum.
Yes, sir.
He starts to escape from underneath Owens. Just slightly. Just enough to start to get some momentum. He hits that up and over. And that's where it really starts to begin.
Yes.
Yes.
It begins. Balor hits his diving stomp on Kevin Owens as he's getting up. And that's not a fun place to be headed. See what I did there? It was a beheaded joke. So
yeah, I
goes for the reverse, the underhook reverse DDT, gets blocked by a straight, gets reversed, straight right hand. You can't see it in the booth, Hobo, but I'm acting out the thing. And here's the fun part: the Pele kick. You just saw a blur from the studio.
Don't break anything.
I went that way instead of forward where all the equipment is. And double down. Not just a fun sandwich that'll kill you. It's running. They whip to the corner. Balor hits his running chops. Have almost as frightening of a sound as, not a paper cut, as Big Show's. When Big Show hits his big, just the snap is so crisp.
Well, when you throw your entire body weight into somebody, and I'm not talking about just body weight, but speed and momentum from running entirely across the ring.
That's what happens.
You're gonna get some sound.
Owens reversed it and hit one of his own, and it was just.
Yeah, see, Owens is wearing a shirt, and Balor is not.
Yeah, a little bit of an advantage, champion's advantage.
A little bit there might remove some flesh.
Balor comes back with a clothesline that turns Owens inside out. Always crazy to see that happen. And he ends up hitting the underhook reverse DDT. Goes for the corner drop kick. Misses, lands really awfully, and starts favoring his left knee a bit.
No, favoring his right, his left knee. He jammed it into that turnbuckle, missing Owens' head.
Yes, terminology. Yes, his left knee is hurt, And Owens sees that and just starts wailing on him. And this was definitely a turn in the match.
Oh, this was a turn from the worst. What you thought was bad, it actually managed to get worse, and I sort of was surprised by that. Because Owens was dominant the entire match. Now he's found a body part that he wants to destroy. Instead of destroying a man, he's destroying a joint. He's trying to make sure that he doesn't walk again, let alone wrestle.
Can you imagine that? But here, that's the frightening thing, is he went into the title match with Sami Zayn going, I'm going to destroy everything. And if you take that aggression that he was going to focus on one whole person and take it to a single body part, I'm surprised his knee didn't explode.
Destruction, just,
Pure, just bad. Remember that that submission that Brock used to do where he would just put the knee, the leg over his neck and just like hang him to dry?
Yes.
Just,
I forgot
what that was called.
Yeah.
I'll look at WWE 2K15 tonight and look it up.
Oh, there you go.
I won't do that. But he stands on his knee. He gets a senton on the knee. Locks him into a single leg crab. Balor gets the rope break. Goes for the power bomb. Nope. Gets reversed. And there's just a straight up standing stomp with full extension on just the ground. And Balor is trying to come back.
If Balor was in a better position, that would be an offensive move. But that wasn't offensive so much as it was desperate. He was desperate to create space.
He needed a breather. He had to rest some, even using his most powerful weapon, his legs, as a weapon, possibly injuring them more. He got that time. And yeah. Owens makes it to the top rope. Gets cut off by an enziguri from Finn Balor, and Balor is trying to hit a superplex.
Trying to get that superplex
on Mr. Owens, and I use that term loosely. But Owens turns it around into a super fisherman suplex.
Manages to not only pick up Balor, but turn him in such a way as to place him high on his back, perhaps even his neck. It was as impactful as anything could be ever.
Even more so than the stretch muffler?
Yes.
Which is the move that Brock Lesnar did with he put the knee on the
Callahan used it too.
Yes.
Or Crow. Yeah. Stretch muffler.
Stretch muffler. Thank you again, Lake85 in chat. And please, everybody, continue your conversations in chat.
Pay no attention to us.
No, we're just talking.
We're just here.
We got
another
couple hours. We're fine.
Yeah.
So let's break this match down move by move and talk about it 5 minutes apiece. You can see all this and more live at Cafe Frascati.
There's a reason for every single move that happens in a match. There truly is. And I can tell you that. If only we had the time.
Go on.
No. Pay me. I am Kevin Owens.
I was about to cue the outro. No. AfterBuzz. Okay. So, Gross Fisherman, they're both down. Only a 2 count. Hits a bunch of cannonballs in the corner.
Well, first a cannonball on Balor
on
in
just
total.
Balor.
Second, on Balor's leg by itself, strung up in the corner. Oh, man.
But luckily, goes for a third, totally misses it.
But
Balor,
what does it matter? He had his leg completely destroyed.
Balor hits the corner drop kick and goes for the coup de grace and hits it. But he was pushing too physically, and using his leg in such an extreme manner caused him to feel the ultimate sting of what Owens had been doing for the past 5-10 minutes.
Human beings have physical limitations.
Yeah.
They can be exceeded. However, what comes after, immediately after, is probably the inability to capitalize on what you were able to accomplish moments earlier.
What definitely. And like you said, as a result, Balor could not capitalize, could not get the cover. When he came back to try to strike again. Pop-up powerbomb. Kevin Owens wins and is still your NXT champion. Like, wow. Wow.
Yeah, everybody was just
aghast.
Absolutely.
Would be a word.
Speechless.
Sporchless.
Sporchless.
Porchless. Homeless. Well, you're homeless.
It's mad. It's just that was
it was a hell of a match to lead in to be NXT's last television representation before WrestleMania. Yeah. What's the show on Sunday? So
what's the show? What's the important show?
No, not that. Let's see. We forgot about so. That was the show for the evening. Before we go, we're going to talk about WrestleMania.
Sure.
And at this time, if anybody has any questions in the chat, go ahead and make sure you ask them. We'll try to do a rapid fire. And while it catches up with where we are, I'll start with just the advertising. If you are in the San Jose area for WrestleMania and you're going to be in town Saturday night and you don't have tickets to NXT San Jose, which doesn't matter because we have tickets to NXT San Jose and we're still going to this damn show. Cafe Frascati, which is walking distance from Access. We're going to be doing a live show, all of the AfterBuzz hosts. I found out that it will be recorded. The audio will be recorded. So,
that's cool.
I don't know if it's going to be live. Well, it's going to be recorded live, but I don't know if it's going to be streamed live. So it will be recorded. You'll be able to hear about all of our antics the day before, right before NXT. Oh, I'm sorry, am I boring you, hobo?
I'm as tired as you.
Yeah, you're right.
You just had more sugar than me.
This Sprite, it doesn't have any, so.
Sure.
All right. Drugs. It's drugs. So join us. We're going to be there right before the NXT show. We're going to go in. We're going to do a spot. Right now, tentatively, it's going to be the two of us and Tom Connolly from the Main Event show. Who hasn't been on Main Event because Main Event hasn't been on the network.
Sort of former Main Event show.
Well, he'll be back once they fix the thing.
He was on Raw this week.
Yeah, he was on Raw. Because he got us the tickets to Raw, which is fantastic. So we keep everything in a bubble about NXT here, and there is more NXT to talk about. But if you want to hear us talk about the overarching the main storylines going into WrestleMania, we were on Raw this week. And we talked a lot, and the commenters were having fun with us.
We made a lot of people really mad.
Oh, we did. It was great. We were just sharing our opinion.
We were.
If you want to see that, and you want to see how people hath burnt us, go on down to the AfterBuzz show on YouTube.
Burnt.
Yeah, and you can see our thoughts there. We're going to talk more about it on Friday. This is strictly NXT, and we're running out of time, so we're going to do a quick rapid fire from chat. First, who's next for Owens? Who do you think is going to go up against Owens next?
Gotta be Zayn. Gotta be.
Yeah.
It's time.
Even though they're both injured?
Both of them are on the recovery list.
True.
So they should be approaching each other at the same speed, so to speak.
Okay. I agree with that. I think it should be Zayn. I don't know if there's anybody else who actively could be going for the title unless it was
be Tommy or Breeze, depending upon who gets the win out of that.
I was going to say it could be somebody from the main roster, like we saw Brodus come down, like we saw Titus come down, like we saw Tyson Kidd come down.
But who would be
a good counter?
Who would be a good counter, and who would the audience like to see?
I was going to say Cesaro, but
no,
they love Cesaro and everything. So
right.
Matter.
I'm trying to think of somebody they love more than Owens. They are trying to make people hate Owens, and it's working. So you got to book somebody who's more over for that crowd than Owens.
Zack Ryder. I would love to see Zack Ryder in NXT. Because what the hell is he doing on the main roster right now anyway?
Not much.
Not much. I'm a big fan of the Long Island Broski. Will there be an NXT match at WrestleMania? There will not. There isn't. They announced that there isn't. There's going to be a tournament. It was announced Thursday night after we did our last show. There's going to be a tournament at Access
Thursday nights.
Starting Thursday night.
Yes.
So it may go Friday as well, up until the thing, the event. Whoever wins the tournament will get a spot in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. That is the closest thing to an NXT match that we're going to get. Who do you think will win?
My gut is telling me Neville.
I would say Neville too.
Because he could stand out with his moveset, he could stand out the most amongst a group of 30 guys who are all moving and shaking at once.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I can see him. Who I want to see is Tyler, but that's just me. Right. Just because I'm such a big fan. What do you think about Samoa Joe's involvement and how he will be integrated in WWE programming after WrestleMania?
Has he signed a contract yet?
The rumors are that he's started that, not that they're in talks, but that he's starting shortly after WrestleMania. His last booking is beginning of April, and then he's just doing WWE stuff, supposedly, reportedly.
I'll consult my crystal ball and I'll get back to you.
All right, then I guess we'll talk about that later. So we're excited for NXT San Jose. Are you excited for NXT San Jose, Hobo?
Yeah.
I don't believe you. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing weekend. There's going to be a lot of stuff NXT wise, main roster wise. We're going to try to get as much of it on camera as we can. We're going to be having we're going to be interviewing folks Saturday morning. We're going to have the camera Friday night. We're going to see if we can bring the camera Friday night. Yeah. Just, no, I'm not making any promise. I'm not. Get it up.
Oh, see, wait.
We might have it. We might not. We're trying to get. I just want to get as much NXT stuff as we can.
Right.
So
probably be live tweeting the event.
Definitely, we'll definitely be live tweeting the event. Speaking of San Francisco and live tweeting things, that's the closing music. So, because I have to wrap us up. Because it got pretty late. We've been rambling for a while.
Have we?
Yeah, it's almost been an hour.
Oh,
so, how about tell the folks where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter @TrueHobo. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/hobo and buy a shirt. BoxcarSuperstar.com is my website. Go check it out.
And you can find me on Twitter traditionally @SoapboxMark. You can find myself and my friend Brandon. We have a podcast. It's called The Gimmick Pod. This last week, though, Sunday night, I had a solo podcast. It was just me. I just talked for half an hour. It's been getting a lot of wonderful comments, and I thank everybody who's listened and commented to me. We're doing the Hall of Fame, Brandon and I. Hobo, again, I'm sorry that you can't make it there, but
I'll live.
Yeah, you got the NXT stuff during the week. We'll handle the other bit. If you want to know, I talk about it at length. So go to The Gimmick Pod on Twitter. You can find the link to our Raw account, which is sort of an instant stream sort of a thing. But that's where all of our wrestling stuff goes. And also go to soapboxcartv.spreadshirt.com. That's where all of our gimmick merchandise is, and where some of our other stuff might live as well. For the Hobo, and follow Kathy Kelly. She's on Twitter @Catherine Kelly. Let her know you miss her. Let her know that you can't wait for her to come back, because I'm pretty sure that you can't wait for her to come back anyway. So, Hobo,
sayonara.
We'll see everybody at WrestleMania.
To WrestleMania.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.